Hi, and welcome to another episode, aka installment of Dream Girl Trucking. Dream Girl Trucking does not apply just to girls, and it's not about looks. Dream Girl applies to people who are working on their dreams or they have a dream. They are dreamers, they always have a goal, they always have a project, because you're either building your dream or you're building someone else's dream. So that's the whole Dream Girl thing. Today, I want to talk to you about, and I guess I should introduce myself. I try to think about what other people do in their videos, and then I try to copy them, but I have the world's worst memory. I was born with a bad memory, and I passed it down to my son and his daughter, who, by the way, just gave me my very first great grandbaby, so I'm a great grandma. Yes, a little boy, and his name is Nathaniel. So they don't live anywhere near me, and I don't know. I never have seen him. We never have. He's like a week old. Well, so anyway, I'm Antoinette. Last name Brady, like the Brady Bunch, and I've been trucking for a little over 3 years over the road, and then I took 14 years off from trucking because trucking is not for me. And before that, I drove 14 years, mostly local, except for the first year, which I drove over the road, pretty much dedicated from Canada to California, and on teams. And then my ex-husband sued me for custody of my kids, and I had to get off the road, which I didn't want to be there anyway, but it's just so hard to make a living, and I would he paid $200.15 a month child support, and everybody said, oh, why don't you take him to court and get more, because he was an executive for Fleming Foods. I bet some of you older drivers remember that place. And no, because I know him, he's bad with money. Besides that, he bought all their school clothes, he bought all their school supplies, he paid for them to play sports, he was with them every weekend. He was a very good, very involved dad, and it wasn't really about the money. But I had to do something. So today's video is trucking for you? And as I've already established, no, trucking is not for me. I dislike trucking, but it's a living, and it's the only kind of work that I can do that will allow me to enjoy the standard of living that I like living, which is not even fancy because I rent a mobile home, okay? I just don't want to live in a FEMA trailer, because I was doing that. And, I've been married, and most of my marriages have been, let's say, I don't want to say abusive, because they were, but I'm not a complainer. But I was set up to fail, and I would have liked to have done this, that, or the other, continued my education, because I am very, very smart, and I'm not saying that to brag. I'm just saying I didn't know it when I was in school. I didn't know it until I became much, much older, and now I pass every test that I take, and I know I'm really intelligent. Maybe I'm not. I'm certainly not the sharpest crayon in the box, or whatever the saying is for that, and I'm also very, very gullible, so you guys can make fun of me for that in the comments if you want to. But what I'm saying is I could have gone a whole lot farther, but I didn't, and so I made bad decisions, and so here I am, 60 years old, driving a truck, which I do not want to do. Ideally, my life would be, where my passion is actually, is selling insurance. I am a dual licensed insurance agent, and although I don't sell insurance since I came back out here, I was doing pretty good at it, but not good enough to yet to live the kind of lifestyle that I wanted to live, and because it takes time to build up a business, and I didn't want to spend 2 or 3 more years doing that, and not having a place, and blah, blah, blah. So I don't do that. But ideally, my life would look like, I would be somebody's wife, and they would work doing whatever, and I would work selling insurance, and, staying home and and staying home and selling insurance is not the same thing, but to me it is, because by staying home I mean you're not out here where you don't have a life. And I'm very popular, and I'm very social, and my insurance clients became my friends, and I still to this day go home and hang out with them and talk to them and keep up with them on Facebook. And so it was great. And I actually loved the over 65 market, Medicare insurance, and also people who are indigent and have Medicaid. They get that too. So just those kind of people. And they taught me a lot of life lessons as well about how it's really important to plan for retirement, which I always knew, but the boneheads that I was married to, none of them want to plan for retirement. And anyway, when you get a divorce, just all that stuff you're lucky if you get to hang on to it. It kind of goes both ways, it splits into two and whatever. But the thing is that some people, they really love trucking and they can't get out of it, and some of them really hate trucking and they still can't get out of it because the money is at a certain standard, and you're often not trained to do other things. And the older you get, the more job discrimination there is out there for you, but that doesn't really exist in trucking until you get into your 70s. And and unfortunately it does exist at some point. But so the longer you're here, the more chained to this truck that you are. And at least you can take online college courses now. You couldn't do that when I was younger. And 70 hours a week is a lot. And you miss your cookouts and weekends at the lake, and things that you don't need to stop your job and go home for. You're gonna miss all that. Meet the teacher night and school plays and donuts with dad, or moms. You're not there to bake the cookies anymore and make up the little treats for the school class parties and things like that. And you miss deaths, and you miss births, and you miss funerals, and you miss weddings, and you miss anniversary parties, and you miss so much stuff. And I don't know how trucking is for anybody, but we all do it, and we give up a lot to do it. Most of us, because we don't have a whole lot of choices. We don't have a whole lot of other options. A lot of us have tried other careers that have not worked out for us for one reason or another, and we're out here. I think this is a great thing, a great career for people who are recently released from prison. And if you're going to go on the straight and narrow, this is a good place for you. If you're not, this is a bad place for the rest of us. But it's you could take this time to get on your feet and go to college online or whatever, and do other things. So it is a job with a lot of opportunities. The things you see out here, you're just really, really blessed. And it's just an amazing job, as well as being a terrible job. Like everything, it has its pros and its cons. And you got the good bosses and the bad bosses, and the good coworkers and the bad coworkers, and all that kind of stuff. So trucking is not for everyone, but it might be for you. So let me know in the comments. You guys know I'm a Chatty Cathy, because that's actually my real name. So my name's Catherine Antoinette, but I like Cat better. I do not like Ann or Annie. And so I was Cathy the whole time I was growing up, and then I decided I didn't like that name. I never liked it because people are never happy. I'm one of them. Well, I was before I became a Christian. And so anyway, it was funny because I had to train my family to call me Antoinette. And I remember one time my brother-in-law, he called me and he said, I guess he didn't recognize my voice. He said, Cathy? And I was like, no, there's no one here by that name. And he goes, oh, I'm sorry. He hung up and he called right back and he goes, is Cathy there? And I'm like, no, there's no one here by that name. He was like, Antoinette. Well, so anyway, it's not easy changing your name when you're 25 years old. But so you guys let me know in the comments, is trucking for you? And what's your path to get here? What did you do to get into the trucking industry? And I'm fixing to drop another video so I can well, I'm not going to drop it. I'm gonna film it and then I'm going to put it up like in a few days, because some of you guys are right. Oh, you know, more videos and blah, blah, blah. But I don't always have the time. Today, I don't deliver until 11, and I'm 10 minutes away from where I deliver. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. So I do have a little bit of time. So I'm going to do some videos, and we'll see how that goes. Anyway, thanks for watching. Y'all talk to me. Y'all talk to me, and I'll talk back. Thanks. Bye. Click.